everybody, and welcome to our Isham Eats channel. My name is Rachel Isham, and if you don't follow my main channel already, it is linked on this page. And this is the very first video that we are making on the new Isham Eats channel. And here we're going to be doing things like meal prep, cooking, baking, grocery hauls, and such. So today, for our very first recipe, we are going to make my family's barbecue meatballs. So I'm just going to walk you guys through how that goes. We put on this apron, which is just like the cutest thing, isn't it? Bought this as a wedding gift for myself and my husband when we got married in December. It's great. So what you're going to need for this, you'll need just a regular bag of meatballs. I got these from Aldi's. There's the original recipe. They do also have an Italian style for usually if you want to make like pasta or something like that. But since we're doing barbecue, I got regular kind. You also need about half a jar of grape jelly, which I know sounds very weird, but please bear with me. Trust me, it turns out just fine and it tastes really great. So yeah, so this is my leftovers from last time that I made this recipe, so I'm just going to use the rest of this jar. And you'll need at least 1 bottle of barbecue sauce. Again, this is the Aldi's brand, Berman's Original. They also have, I think it's like a honey something of this also. That's really great. Doesn't really go so hot with the meatballs, but for like regular recipes and such, that's a good idea. Yeah, so let's get cooking. So first things first, you can see I have a pot over here on the stove that already has water in it. So we're going to add the meatballs and we're going to boil them. So I need to grab some scissors because I can't open bags to save my life. We'll just open these bad boys. And just pour them in. There we go. Okay, I do have a gas stove, so sometimes it's hard to light. Okay, and then in addition to the pot we're going to boil the meatballs in, you will also need a crock pot for them to cook in, which I have set up on my other counter, and will turn over that way when I'm ready to add the meatballs to it. But for now, we're going to cook those. You don't have to cook them really all that long. I'm not even really sure if boiling the meatballs is all that necessary. This is my grandpa's recipe, and this is how he's done it for literally ever. This is a big hit at whenever we have family reunions or picnics or get-togethers. This is like the one thing that he makes. But yeah, you mostly just kind of want to boil them, get some of that kind of oily stuff off, and have them nice and clean to put into the crock pot. Oh, okay. It's a good thing this jar was already open, otherwise I would not have been able to do it. And this, you can vary, sorry, we're struggling to open the barbecue sauce. You can kind of vary this recipe too. Like if you like your barbecue meatballs to be a little bit more sweet, you can add more jelly than barbecue. But if you like them to be maybe a little bit more savory instead, you can add extra barbecue sauce. You can try different flavors of barbecue sauce. I don't usually season the meatballs, and I don't put seasoning in with the sauce either, but if that's something you want to do, you could. I'm not sure how that would turn out, but it would be worth trying. And this goes really great. This is something that my husband and I make quite often for work, because this is super easy to pack into like Tupperwares to take with you. We actually have been doing the keto diet. I don't really like calling it a diet though. So that just makes it sound like, I don't know, like I'm only trying to lose weight. And I'm not really, that's not the reason that we do keto. For me at least, when I eat a lot of carbs, it tends to make me feel very sick. So I just kind of, I kind of avoid them. If it's sometimes, like occasionally eating carbs, I'm usually pretty okay. But if there's a lot, then yeah, I get sick. So we just try to cook without them most of the time. Normally when we make this, we'll make either like steamed or buttered broccoli with it. Sometimes we'll do cauliflower. Other times we eat it alone. This is really great for if you have to go to like a potluck or something. Everybody loves crock pot meals for that. I don't know why that's such a thing. Like summer is like a really gross time to eat hot food, but like there's always crock pot meals at picnics. I don't know. So yeah, so this should take, honestly I never really time it. I would say maybe like 5 to 10 minutes of boiling them. I do have the burner up as almost as high as it will go, so I should cook relatively fast. And then in the crock pot, really everything is already cooked. You mostly just have to, keep it hot and get that sauce to all mix together. The jelly kind of has to melt down and mix in with the barbecue. I would say maybe like 4 to 5 hours in the crock pot. If we're planning to eat this for like a regular dinner on like a weekend, almost always a weekend because I can't use a crock pot when I'm working during the day. But if we have to eat this for dinner, I usually start it around like noon, so we're ready to eat between like 5 and 5:30. It's actually 9 o'clock in the morning right now while I'm filming this. I'm doing this more as like a meal prep. My husband is working weekends now and I work during the week, so we don't really have the same off time to be able to cook together anymore, so we both kind of take turns of making dinners, and usually on weekends I like to make 2 or 3 bigger meals that will last during the week, so I have stuff to eat at work. And yeah, that is what's going on today. My husband's birthday is coming up in a couple of days and I'm going to be making lasagna for that, which I think, don't completely trust me on that, but I think I'm also going to film a video of me trying to make a lasagna. I've only ever made lasagna one time in my entire life, so I'm not sure how it's going to go. And my cat just jumped on the table. Get down. Yeah, so that is what's shaken bacon. It should be good though. My mom is coming over and my in-laws. We're gonna have dinner and I bought garlic bread. I was really insistent on making garlic bread because I have a great garlic butter recipe, but my husband wanted to have Texas toast, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have Texas toast and lasagna and cheesecake. Yeah, neither of us picked regular birthday cake for our birthdays this year. We both had different things. I actually had donuts at my birthday instead of cupcakes or cake of some sort, and my husband is picking cheesecake. So that will be super fun. I actually, in another video, I will probably show you what I bought him for his birthday. I gave it to him early though because I didn't want to make any of our family feel weird about opening gifts in front of them. So yeah, he already opened it, and it required some assembly, so he had some off time from work where he put it all together, which is fun. Okay, so our meatballs are kind of starting to boil over here, so they are almost done. And this is really like the most simple recipe. Like honestly, I started making this like when I was in college. Like that's how easy this was. Like I could make this like in my dorm's kitchen. I didn't have to buy a whole lot of ingredients. It's relatively cheap to make. Honestly, the most expensive part was the meatballs, and they were like $3. Other than that, like barbecue sauce and jelly is all that you need, and those relatively inexpensive. I think you can even get that kind of stuff at the dollar store. So if you really were like short on money, which I get, I only graduated a year ago, so I know that broke college student life. Eating a lot of ramen, I totally get it. It's fine. So if that's where you're at, there is still a way to make a lot of really yummy food, and especially for this recipe, it's very easy to put together. And yeah. Also, if you guys are watching this video, let me know if you like this setup. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan. This is supposed to be a window right behind me, but the sunlight is kind of obnoxious and it makes our house very hot, so I covered it with paper. Because it's kind of, I don't know, it's like a weird shape and it's like right in between the cupboards, so like we couldn't really put up like a curtain rod. Plus like having a curtain hanging down in front of the sink just sounded bad. Like we have curtains on all of the other windows in our house, but I don't know, that just wasn't the vibe. And I don't know, the paper's not really a vibe either, but it's better than it being so hot in here constantly. I think it's supposed to be like 80 degrees today or some like crazy shit. I just swore. Okay, apologies if you're watching this. I should put a disclaimer that we use adult language in these videos. So yeah. What else? Also, I got a new tripod. I was so excited. I actually wanted to film this video last weekend, but when I went to use I have like a little mini tabletop tripod. When I went to use it, it was broken. So I now have a full-size adjustable tripod, and it came with a ring light, which I think is really cool. I think this lighting looks pretty all right. Otherwise, I'd be like really backlit by this window, and you wouldn't be able to see my face, and like, what's the point then? You can't see me. You can only just listen to me ramble about my cooking. So I think the ring light is working. But if you guys don't like this setup, or if you want a different angle, we can make those adjustments. We have a relatively small kitchen right now. We're in a rental house, hoping to move relatively soon. We've been looking at houses. We were actually going to make an offer on one earlier this week, but the same day that my husband was supposed to go do a tour, it was already pending. Another offer had already been accepted, so we didn't get a chance to tour. Oh, sorry. I need some water. Oh, it's backwards to you guys. This just has my name on it though. It was a Christmas gift from my mom, like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 years ago. It's pretty alright. It's a Yeti mug. Yeti is like one of my favorites. Yeah, that's a good shit. No, I don't have COVID. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here. I have been vaccinated. Yes. So my husband and I, we both work for the government up here. So we were considered essential employees, and we were one of the first groups of people to receive the vaccine. I got my first shot in January, and my second one was like the first week of February. And my husband, I think, was close to the same. He was off by like a week or two from when I had mine done. But yeah, and I'm super, grateful for that. That's super awesome. Like, if I was still a student, there's no way I would have been vaccinated. Like, college students are like the bottom tier of like the vaccination list. It's like, yeah, they kind of got the short end of the stick, because like they probably work with people the most, except like essential workers, and they weren't really allowed to get the vaccine right away. I think now they're allowing it though when people like between 16 and 18, so some like older teenagers I think are eligible now, so that's super awesome. But yeah, we're still not really going to a lot of places, still wearing our masks at work. I work in health and human services, so I'm around people a lot, and there's a lot of clients, and I work with kids actually, so there's a lot of students that I see, and I still want to be safe. Even though I am vaccinated, there's other people in my life who aren't vaccinated who could be potentially at high risk for contracting the virus or getting sick from it. So we're just trying to make safe choices, make good choices for ourselves. Yeah, that was a tangent. Okay, so we're gonna check the meatballs. They kind of, when they start to boil, it doesn't really bubble the way that like boiling pasta or rice does. It just kind of gets like frothy, if that makes sense. It kind of gets like frothy on top. So yeah, we're probably going to strain those in the next like minute or two, and then I will dump them into the crock pot and let you guys see what that looks like and how to mix it all up. And then I will make sure to include a video clip or picture when it is done cooking, which will take a hot minute. So yeah, let's check the meatballs and see if they're ready to be strained. The water gets kind of gross looking, but like that's kind of just normal. Kind of like, I mean, pasta does that too. Like when you just like boil shit, it happens. I don't know if it's like coming out of like the food, or if it's because of like, I don't know. Okay, so since I have a gas stove, the handles of my pot get really, really hot. So I need oven mitts to be able to strain it. Otherwise I'm going to burn myself. I'm also going to turn this on. So sorry if it's loud, but we have really sensitive. Ooh, look at that steam. So this is kind of what it's kind of what it should look like. That would be a really cute thumbnail. Yeah, it's kind of what it should look like. It kind of looks a little frothy on top. It's very steamy, very hot. I'm going to dump this so I don't spill it. You just want to go ahead and pour those into a regular strainer. just whatever regular strainer you have, whatever you use for like your pasta. Okay, and I'm actually gonna rotate the camera real fast. Get you guys a good setup here. Okay, so as you can see here, this is like the other half of our kitchen, very small, like I said, but I do have my crock pot ready and I have my sauces ready. So let's mix it all together. All right, so first thing you want to do is you want to dump the meatballs straight into your crock pot. And I'm just going to put the strainer over here because I don't want to clean it right now. Okay, so you should just have plain regular meatballs in here for now. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put in the jelly. So I usually like to take out my jelly before I start cooking the meatballs, because when it's like super cold, it's really hard to like get out of the container. But if it's a little warmer, sometimes it goes easier. You just kind of want to dump all of that. It'll come out kind of in like chunks. It's just going to kind of, is gloop a word? Glop? It's going to gloop out. Glop. I don't know. It's just going to come out in like chunks, basically is what I'm trying to say. I just kind of want to spread those pretty evenly, make sure that it's over all sections. If you get like a big section that dumps out all at once, like if you can see what just happened, just kind of break that up. Make sure that it's all over the top of your meatballs. This is all going to melt down when your crock pot is turned on. Also, maybe it's just me, but I never turn on my crock pot until I'm done putting everything inside of it. Because if I'm not fast enough with the sauce, you know, I just got like plain meatballs with absolutely no liquid, just that are going to start frying in there, and to me that just sounds like a bad idea, so I just don't do it. I mean, you do you, whatever you do. If you like this recipe, if you don't like this recipe, I mean, I don't particularly care. It doesn't impact my life. I'm just here doing this because I enjoy it, because I like making videos, and I love cooking and baking, so I'm here sharing recipes. You can do what you want, make it your own, don't make it if you don't like it. If you don't like something I do, then you don't have to do it. And if you don't like watching, then I guess that's fine. Maybe my channel's not right for you, but that's fine. People get like too hung up on that, I think, and like sometimes I used to be like that, you know, like with people, I'll be like, oh my gosh, like what if that person doesn't like me, or what if they don't like what I have to say, or like, oh my gosh, my personality is just like too much for them. But it's like I'm not going to change me to make somebody else happy, you know? Like just be you, just do you. I actually have a book called You Do You. Yeah, by Sarah Knight. That sounds right. I don't know if it is. Anyways, we were talking a lot, but yeah, you just dump all of that in there. I'm going to set this down. And I know you were supposed to recycle glass and plastic jars, but this is filthy, and it's all full of food, and it's not going to clean very easily, and I'm not going to be able to put this in the recycling, so it went in the garbage. Don't at me in the comments, please. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put, I just had a little bit of this barbecue left in my fridge, it's about half a bottle, so we're going to start with this, and then I'll do the new bottle. So that just makes more sense. Then, you just want to essentially cover the entirety of your meatballs. The bottle is going to make some obnoxious noises because it's almost empty. Why? Why is my life like this? Okay, so that is not going well. So we're just going to kind of shake that shit out and get that in here. I don't like being wasteful. Probably can't even hear me. I really don't like being wasteful, especially, like, I have money now. I know I was talking earlier about the whole broke college student thing, but even now that I do have money and I'm more stable, I still don't like to waste my money though, you know? Like, if I spend my money to buy something, I want to get my money's worth out of the thing. Like, you should see me with, like, toothpaste containers or, like, lotion containers. I'll literally, like, cut the bottle open and, like, scrape, like, the inside out and use it and everything. I don't know. Maybe it's a me thing. If anybody else does that, will you please like this video or say something in the comments? I don't know. Sometimes I just think I'm cheap. I might be cheap. I'm probably cheap, but that's fine. What is that saying? There's a saying about that actually, about like even if you have money to still have like to spend money like you're poor. No, that sounds stupid. I don't know. There's a thing. That's gonna bother me now. Something about like acting poor is what keeps you rich, but like if you're acting rich, that's what makes you poor. Which like in theory like makes sense. It sounds stupid when I say it, but like if you spend all of your money on things you don't need and you're very frivolous with your money, you're obviously not going to have any of it left over. But if you're frugal and if you like to save your money, then you'll have more of it to spend later. Which I think makes sense. That does make sense, actually. And I feel like I'm kind of like that. So, I don't know. I'm not cheap. I am intentional. Yes, that is going to be a thing. I am not cheap. I am intentional with my money. I spend spend money on the things that I actually need, not frivolous things that I want. Okay. So, since I haven't turned on the crock pot yet, I can show you guys this. This is actually hot because of the meatballs. So it should be something nasty looking like this. Essentially, all you did was coat your meatballs completely in grape jelly and your barbecue. And we're just going to put this on low. Don't put it on high. If you put it on high, you're going to boil the meatballs and they're going to be gross. Put it on low. Cover it. I'll come back in an hour or two and stir them up. Make sure you kind of keep stirring them about every 45 minutes to an hour or so. If the sauce starts to get like bubbly and kind of boiling, they are overheating and you should shut off the crock pot or switch it to like a keep warm setting. And then yeah, it'll be ready to serve. Normally we serve them up in a bowl and have whatever vegetable or such on the side and something different because the sauce kind of gets runny when it gets warm. But yeah, I think that's all for today. I'm gonna wash those pans now, or the pot, not the pans. Gotta wash the pot, and I will make sure that I include pictures of the finished product. Oh, no, food is not a product. Is food a product? I don't know. I will include pictures when this meal is finished, or another video. I will check in with you guys, and this should get posted sometime soon. My apologies for it being so long and for rambling an awful lot. But this is the very first video on this channel, so like, we just gotta try shit. We just gotta try a bunch of new shit and see what works for us, what works for me, what you guys like to see. So yeah, so if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you would like. Also make sure you check out my main channel. I'm gonna be recording some videos this weekend to post on there as well. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed your time here in my kitchen today. And I hope you all have a great day. Thank you. Okay everyone, this is what your finished barbecue meatballs should look like. Give them a good stir. And they will be ready to eat. I'm actually not going to be eating this right now. This is going to be saved for this week for lunches and such for myself and my husband. But there we go. That is the final version. Thank you all for watching.